remarkably sensitive and accurate, the human eye is an extremely limited device, a surprisingly narrow window on our world. Today, as never before, cameras and other instruments that see are radically expanding the limits of our vision and knowledge, and altering forever our image of the world. Join us now on a visual journey beyond the limits of the naked eye, on a voyage into the invisible world.
I'm E.G. Marshall. In the winter of 1839, the public of Paris was astounded by a revolutionary new invention. With metal plates made sensitive to light and a simple box-shaped camera, a painter named Louis Daguerre had created a collection of images so detailed and accurate they seemed at first sight almost real. Photography had been born, and immediately it was hailed as the miracle of its time. The earliest cameras took pictures of familiar things that the eye could readily see. People and landscapes were favorite subjects. As photography grew more sophisticated, the camera revealed an endless potential for ever greater miracles, for it could be made to see things that were otherwise invisible.
Through the specialized eyes of cameras come new dimensions of seeing. Fleeting movement hidden by time, details shrouded by distance and size are revealed as vivid images which our eyes alone could never discern. But even up close, our eyes can barely resolve objects that are 1/300th of an inch in diameter. With a microscope that filters the direction of incoming light, the composition of the physical world can be vividly explored. Recorded on film at actual speed, we can witness the otherwise invisible process known as crystallization. In a world of motion, there is infinite detail too fast for the unaided eye. In the 1870s, an ingenious photographer, Edward Muybridge, invented a way to record movements normally too quick to be seen. A wager about the stride of a running horse brought Muybridge to the stock farm of a wealthy Californian. With a battery of 24 cameras that were activated by threads stretched across a track, Muybridge captured aspects of motion that had never been witnessed before. Muybridge's patron had bet that all four legs of a running horse were sometimes simultaneously off the ground. Stop-action photography proved him to be right. By projecting his photographs in rapid succession, the first motion pictures were born. The movement of people as well as animals became for Muybridge a passionate subject of study. more than just a technical curiosity. Muybridge's pioneering work was the first photographic analysis of the dynamics of physical motion. Today, modern high-speed cameras can record rapid motion with a clarity that Edward Muybridge could only have dreamed of. Slow motion film is now a commonplace tool in analyzing athletic performance. For Dr. Gideon Ariel, a physical education expert and a former discus thrower on the Israeli Olympic team, slow motion film is just the first step in the scientific coaching of athletes.
Coaches used to think that by looking on an athlete, they could tell what the athlete does right and what he does wrong. Later on, they found out that it's very complicated. They start taking slow motion pictures. But we're finding out, and coaches finding out, that even looking on a slow motion film, you cannot tell what is right and what is wrong. The reason is that in any movement, it's not what we see with our eyes that make the difference, but there are derivatives of what the eye see, which is displacement, velocities, accelerations, forces. We cannot see acceleration. We cannot see velocity. It might appear fast or might appear slow, but the relationship of one segment to the other in the body, we cannot see with our eyes.
Dr. Ariel has turned to the computer for aid in the analysis of movement. Slow motion film of an athlete is projected frame by frame onto a recording screen. Each touch of a sonic pen transmits into the computer memory the dynamically changing positions of the athlete's joints and limbs. Human movement is governed by the same laws of motion that apply to the entire physical world. And from the visual information contained in the film, the computer can rapidly calculate the interrelationship of force, acceleration, and velocity in the athlete's movements. Computer-created images combined with a mass of numerical data can pinpoint where athletic technique is hindering performance.
So what coaches in the past thought they can see with the eyes, we're finding out you cannot do. You have to quantify it. With the advent of computers, we can provide the coaches with much more objective, reliable information on how the body moves.
Dr. Ariel's computer analysis of Olympic discus thrower Mac Wilkins revealed that useful energy which would affect his throw was being wasted on ground friction. Additional force was being spent by not rigidly planting his forward leg at the moment of the throw. Based on this analysis, Wilkins altered his throwing technique. Several months later, in international competition, he threw the discus over 13 feet farther than he ever had before and set a new world record.